All of you for this Triple One Days Global Goddess Meditation Circle with Triple One Feminine Masters across the globe. It started on July 26th and it will finish on November 14th. So, as part of this program, we have entered into day 15 of our meditation circle. And I'm so grateful to all of you for utilizing these meditation sessions. And please do utilize this and share it to your friends, my dear friends. And today we have with us Pramila, Master Pramila from India. And before starting our session, let's meditate for 2 minutes by connecting with all the divine goddess energies, by connecting with all the higher beings. So I request everyone to please close your eyes. Let's invite Patriji. Let's invite all the higher beings of love and light. Let's invite angels, archangels, star beings, all the divine feminine masters. Connect with them and do meditation, my dear friends. Be open and receptive to the healing energies flowing from all these divine beings. Let's send and radiate this love and compassionate energies flowing from all these divine beings to all the beings on this planet Earth. May all the living beings on this planet Earth live happy, healthy, and peaceful. Let each and every person on this planet Earth become a meditator and a vegetarian for the highest and the greatest good of all. So it is. Now gently place your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. And you can slowly open your eyes. Thank you, my dear friends. And today we have with us Master Pramila. She's from India and she's the founder of Rainbow Spirits. Now she has come up with her freelance entity, Rainbow Spirits, through which she's driving feminine wellness and health awareness programs in India. The perspective are on women and girl empowerment, my dear friends. So she organizes a lot of wisdom sharing sessions on this divine feminine and spiritual parenting, self-parenting, and lifestyle dynamics for younger generation. And she took these sessions in a lot of corporate. And yes, she's a wonderful master. So without taking no time, let's invite this master from India. Over to you, Pramila.
Thank you, Lakshmi, and namaste, everyone, all friends, masters, and gods. So, I'm very grateful and thankful for you to invite me on this great sharing, Global Goddess Meditation Circle. And my gratitude to Patriji and Patri Madam for giving this wonderful meditation and spiritual path for us all. So, to tell you about a brief about me, I started this Anapanasati meditation and pyramid meditation somewhere in 97, 98, like we were young at that time. So we got initiated through my cousin, Dr. Shivakumar. So we started doing meditation. It was so fascinating and interesting for us to do this meditation. And we participated in a lot of meditation programs and we got organized programs and sessions. And later, hello, yes. So we started our journey like that, and being in this path was is very wonderful thing, like doing meditation, full moon meditation, and other things. So at one point of a time, we could understand like our purpose of life, like talking with and interacting with many masters and reading a lot of books. And later, we found our purpose of life, that we need to establish the spiritual patterns and spiritual organizations around the world in a global arena. So as such, I also wanted to become a spiritual speaker or a spiritual facilitator. However, like at that point of a time, we were young, and as I said, and were in our no education. So I took a path into working into corporates, multinational corporations, and I wanted to improve my skills and my traits as such. So I worked with different cities within my state and other states as well. So I could improve along with the spiritual experiences, like dreams, past life experiences, and other things. I could also improve the corporate or cultural variations, and this kind of traits I could improve. So at one point of a time, I voluntarily quit my corporate career, and I became a freelancer with many of the spiritual entities here in my state and North India and even abroad. So I have been working with them and doing my contribution with those, like conducting various meditation and yoga retreats and all these things. And I have been also into writing, like I'm a freelance writer. So apart from the creative writing, we also did some spiritual scripts, spiritual short movies, and all these things. So recently, like 1 year ago, I have come up with this entity, freelance entity, that is Rainbow Sea Spirits, wherein I have organized some kind of sessions, workshops to share the legacy, the journey in the form of seminars, or could be some storytelling, and some kind of wisdom sharing programs. So this is a short introduction about me. And if we have to come speak about this particular topic, like evolution of goddess energy and feminine energy. So this is our topic today, friends. Important topic these days. Most of the spiritual seekers and healers are coming up. So we keep hearing about feminine energies, muscular energies, evolution. Sometimes we say that we need to balance, and sometimes we say that there is a free will, and a lot of kind of these kind of terms we get to hear, like transformation, passion, dreams, life purpose. And sometimes we say that there is a lot of free will, like we can have that kind of energy, we can transform ourselves or manifest the things whatever we feel like. So these things would happen. And we also, on the other hand, we say it is a destiny, we need to surrender, we need to have that kind of a compassion, we need to have a kind of creative things within us. So if these kind of things are going on, so how does evolution happen of this feminine energy and the goddess energy? Is it only about the women, or it is also about the men? So sometimes we have the patterns. It is not just physical body. Like sometimes we have the patterns of of a female energy, and sometimes maybe a male energy. when exactly it is a female energy and when exactly it is a male energy. And sometimes we also feel that we are young, and sometimes we feel we are old. So how these things happen? Usually these things happen, this evolution process happens in a cycle. So we need to understand the cycles of of how this evolution is happening. So if we have to take the things further, like we are like for the beginners, like if we have to speak, like in considering this session is going from the beginners to the so-called masters, like we have the different components of our consciousness, like starting from the body, mind, heart and soul. And also there will become some kind of a layers, yeah, in our consciousness. We are not just physical body, like we all know that we all are etheric, emotional. We have spiritual body, we have the divine body, and these are the things, layers that are happening. So uh, we experience our energy, our reflection in different layers at different times. So how is this happening? And similarly, likewise, we also have chakra system. So like starting from the root chakra to the crown chakra. So sometimes it is seems to be vertical, like a linear thing, like from the root chakra to the top chakra. But is it only from the upward movement, or is it is also a downward movement, or it is like a cycles, or it is a spiral? These are the things that if we can know this evolution process, then we can understand what exactly is the cycles, what exactly the phases, or when is it the feminine energy we go through, or when is it the muscular energies that we go through. So there are particular patterns, like for example, feminine is about being creative, being compassionate, surrender, and all these things. And for the masculine energy, it is about energy, free will, or sometimes mostly manifesting, fetching the things, getting the things done. So these kind of polarities that we go through. However, we need to know that when exactly this is polarity, or when exactly there is oneness, or when exactly the feminine energy is flowing, or when exactly the muscular energy is flowing. We all need to go through all these things, the pluralities, the oneness, and the balance, and sometimes surrender, and all these things. Let's see how this kind of cycles are no evaluated. It's not just an upward movement, it could be downward movement. Sometimes it is like in a cycle, it is a spiral, sometimes linear, sometimes non-linear. So to start with, if we have to speak about this kind of lineage, if whenever there is a soul born on this earth, there'll be some kind of initiation happening with the soul. Initiation means, could be to their soul, like their purpose of life, or understanding. Will be some questions with them, like why are we born, or it's not just the the patterns which are given by the family, or could be their education, or the kind of the job or the career they do, or the society. So there'll be some kind of a inner question, that kind of a urge will to start with them. So there'll be an initiation wherein they try to seek the information, not with the visible uh, groups or the visible things around, but that invisible life, other dimensional experiences. So might be we would be going for meditation, or we read lot of philosophical books, or sometimes we find a guru, a master, to initiate this process, or sometimes even we go through a lot of this kind of programs, events. We participate in these things and we try to awake our information, our wisdom, and our knowledge. So once this kind of an initiation happens, automatically there'll be some kind of awakening happening within us. So you would experience a lot of have experiences like you can connect with the angels, you can connect with the God, you can connect with other dimensional experiences, sometimes dreams, sometimes signs, and all these things. You just connect that there kind of synchronicities happening in your life. So if we are keen on these things, we would be able to understand and get those information, that kind of signs to us. Once these things are done, when this thing is given to us, not just with the world world things, but the beyond, the other dimensional aspects, we will understand the purpose of life. Why are we born? What are we are supposed to do? And how are we doing? This kind of a purpose of life and a vision would appear for us, and that is happening not from our family or from the society, but from the within our source, our the superconscious. So once this kind of a vision is given to us, the next phase would be the manifestation thing. So we would try to establish this kind of a vision into action. There is an action of our seeking. So we would like to take up education, a qualification as per the purpose of our life. We will also go for the relationships which would align to our purpose. We will take up or go to the locations, different places, as per the vision of our life, our vision of our soul. And we also go get into careers, everything. It could be our relationship, could be our education, could be our qualification, could be our learning process, could be our career. Anything would we will opt and go as per the vision of our life. So we try to manifest, we try to put the vision into action. So this is how we do. So there'll be a lot of free will, there'll be a lot of power. It's like complete we will evolve, we will expand, because we are given the free will, we have that power. We can manifest the things as per our soul vision. So this is the phase which we go through. And later, how much ever we are powerful, how much ever we are manifesting, we try to experience, most of us experience these polarities. Like, we have our vision towards our life or towards our soul, which is given by our superconscious. At the same time, there would be some other, or a dual, or a polarity, a polar experience that we experience. Like, as per our vision, there will be a complete rival, a complete what we say, the duality, the polarity that we experience. If we say yes, they might say no. If we walk into a particular path, they will walk into a different and opposite path. And sometimes, if we want to be an individual, they might say that it is a teamwork. Like, it is sometimes collaboration and sometimes it is collaborating, and sometimes we say that it is unconditional love. Sometimes we experience that there are conditions in our life. Unless we do this, we don't get that. Unless we go complete this, we don't get to have something else. So this kind of dualities, this kind of polarities that we experience in our life. So, as far as there is a free will, we tend to have a lot of energy. But here, there is a kind of imbalances that are happening in our life. There will be ups and downs. There are a lot of fluctuations that are happening because this is a phase of polarity. This is a phase of duality. It could happen in one aspect of our life, or if we are multi-dimensional, like if we work on many aspects of our life, could be as per our passion, could be into a relationship, could be improving our traits, or could be learning something. So this kind of duality we experience, as in we soul are taking up that kind of one or multiple aspects. So this kind of duality is very common in this process of evolution. Most of us think, friends, that spirituality is, very interesting, or some kind of peaceful thing, some kind of happening, some kind of joy, peace, and all these things we speak. But in this process, we also experience a lot of dualities, a lot of fluctuations, ups and downs, and this kind of imbalances would be definitely there. So, in this phase, we need to connect and understand, like, we need to pause. We cannot use our free will. We need to pause for a while. We have to stop. We need to connect with the environment around. We need to share and understand what are the other people's visions, and how the things are happening, and some kind of reflection, or some kind of comparison, that some kind of uh, if that is not properly done, sometimes it gets into competition and rivalry too. But however, this process is not unavoidable. We need to go through all these things. The result, the best part of this process is that we would understand our own unique thing, our own unique talent. So we are not, all are not same. We are individuals and we are unique in our own ways. Though as a whole, at a larger picture, we see the oneness. At an individual level, have all we all are varied. We have some kind of a unique purpose of life, unique that energy, unique beauty within us. So we need to understand this uniqueness. As long as this uniqueness, we cannot get that pulse, or get that hold of that uniqueness. We will go through all this kind of rivalry, that kind of a competition, that kind of a duality, that kind of friction, that kind of lot of issues that we go through. The only purpose of this phase is to understand our uniqueness. We need to find our uniqueness. We need to get hold of the uniqueness. So once we find our uniqueness, the next phase would be, once we find it, we will definitely balance. We understand what our strengths are. Like, of course, someone might be good at something, we are good at something else, and likewise, we also have some kind of limitations. We have some kind of conditions. So these kind of things we understand, we imbibe, and once we get that uniqueness, obviously that fluctuations, that friction, that rivalry, that kind of restlessness will be completely balanced. So once we get a balance, the next phase would be surrender.
Hey, hey, hi, Pramila.
So
Can you?
complete surrender to everyone. Like we have started somewhere at the seeking, like to our super consciousness. Later we have tried to manifest and establish the things within different aspects of our life and our career. Might be we traveled many places, might be we are into different careers, or could be, so these days we also see people are not confined to one particular relationship. They go through a lot of relationships issues also, and kind of a multiple relationship patterns are being seen these days. So every aspect of our life, all our strengths, all our weaknesses, all our manifestation, all our limitations, all the unconditional things, all the energy, all the free will that we experienced, or all the conditions, the limitations, the shortcomings, the gaps that we went through, that we need to surrender completely. Once we surrender, then this process can be done by evoking the creative energy. Like someone is good at some art, someone is good at some painting, or someone good at singing. As I'm good at writing, creative writing, and I write stories and kind of fictional stories. So this kind of things we need to evoke in order to settle ourselves, surrender ourselves completely. So this would help. The creative patterns, the creative things that we evoke would help us to surrender completely, such that what happens is, because we went through a lot of process all this time, like first we have started in seeking, later manifesting, we have went through a lot of experiences, a lot of trauma we could have seen, so a lot of imbalances that we have seen. And once we surrender completely, the things which are to be retained, the things which are to be imbibed will be there, and the things, the unwanted things, the unwanted experiences, the unwanted energy will be completely released. So this is a process. The surrender process will retain the energy that is required and release the unwanted energy. So surrendering and creative things are very important. So that is how we get transformed, like over the different phases we get transformed and we get healed, because the unwanted energy has been released from us. So we will get the cream of our life purpose. This is the entire phases that we go through. So we will have that cream, that uniqueness, that kind of self accomplishment things would happen. So that is how we can share our knowledge, our wisdom, our energy to the community or to the society. That is how this community responsibilities comes up. So once we share this, that is the real celebration of our life. That is the real celebration of our soul. That is the real celebration of our purpose. So these things happen in our life, could be in one lifetime or could be in many lifetimes. So these are how it happens. So my dear friends, my dear masters, over a period of a time, this kind of cycles go through, and one particular of time, we can break the cycles and have a consistency, a stability, a life wherein we can offer ourselves to the universe. We can offer ourselves to the community. We can offer ourselves to the society. We can offer ourselves to the family. And we can offer ourselves to ourselves. And likewise, we also get the energy, the no, the kind of a exchange would happen. So unless this process is established, we will go through a lot of cycles, as in our choice, our intensity of our soul. So once this kind of things are established, we will break the cycle and we get into a normal life. This is how the process of cycle goes. So to tell you friends, once we understand, if we are able to understand this kind of a process within us, this is completely related with the, you know, the women health and wellness here on this physical earth dimension. So that is how it is connected. This kind of a process, the entire process is uh, put is designed in a feminine womb. So that is how the feminine womb could be related to her no puberty, could be related to the menstruation, could be related to the motherhood, could be related to the menopause, or any such all these phases of uh, feminine health process. This is completely reflected. The evolution process which we have seen is completely reflected in this particular womb of a female. So that is how we need to understand the flow, we need to understand the cycles, we need to understand in what kind of evolution we are in. Once we understand this kind of a things, we will be able to understand also about her womb process. So based on this evolution process of the feminine energy, like I have designed various programs, like for females, we say that, or for the girls, like cheer up girls, we can say, like it's a beginning of their puberty. So how it is reflected within them, that is very important. So this program is for the students, for the teenage girls who are wanting to have their aspirations and dreams, and yet this might be a problem for them. So this kind of menstrual process, they are not comfortable. So we can explain to them about the cycles and all, and make them comfortable. So this is about cheer up girls is for you know uh, for young girls, and later we have incredible femininity. It is about the women in general. So it reflects this kind of cycles, or the evolution process reflects differently varied in different uh, people or the females, depending on their kind of lifestyles, depending on the kind of the soul intensity, and depending upon the kind of the age they are going through, or depending upon the kind of phases that they are going through in their life. So in general, this program is for general for women, that is incredible femininity. And also we can understand these days we also see there'll be a lot of concerns about pregnancy as well. Like sometimes women would plan for pregnancy, and sometimes they are planning to have later pregnancy. They are deferring their pregnancy. They wanted to have their aspirations, they wanted to have their dreams fulfilled first. That self actualization is more important these days. So later they might go for the children. So there is a variation in the energies of a physical child, and being a parent, like a parent being of a physical child, and a parent being a parent of an inner child. So these kind of things that we can explain in this womb healing process. And later we also see that women are into more corporate and dynamic careers. Like they need to move to different places, they need to have their skills and qualification, their traits improve a lot from time to time. Like might be 6 months, or maybe a 1 year. They need to continuously evolve, or a continuous progress, or a continuous performance are required in in this corporate world. So how this kind of cycles, how this feminine energy is incorporated, or how does the dynamics work for them. for this corporate or this kind of dynamic woman. So this program is completely designed for them, such that they can understand when to perform, how they can perform, how they can relate, how they can share, and how they can have best practices. Or sometimes they need to go for training programs, or sometimes they need to balance the work life imbalances. So these kind of things are always there. So the prime source is always about understanding the feminine energy. So once we understand the evolution of the feminine energy, we can easily understand this kind of a process as well, which will help them to perform better. Which will help. It could be at a job, it could be at their corporate career, or it could be about a pregnancy, or it could be about not having pregnancy, or it could be about the young girls who are aspiring about the career options which they have, where to go and what to choose. Sometimes girls might have a lot of aspirations, but because of these things they feel very low, very discomfortable with those things. So how to choose their careers is also important. So at the same time we also have this also reflects in the business, especially the women who are at business. uh, it's not just women at being at business. It is also about the employers, the organizations, how to use and keep tap of this feminine energies. So when exactly to use them, or where exactly to use them. It could be in the manifesting process, like in the operations, in the production, in the marketing, or could be in the creative process, like could be in the HR training, or kind of corporate development, or research. These kind of things, where exactly to use this kind of feminine energies within us, that is also important. So and if we understand these things, we can easily understand you know all ways of life, uh, corporate jobs, either it's services. And one more thing is we have here is divine femininity. Divine femininity is about most of us, we see that they are awakened, they are into the spiritual path, they are wanting to seek more, they are wanting to grow, they are wanting to evolve. They go to a lot of programs, they meet a lot of masters, they go through a lot of that inner journey, that awakened process we go through. So this is also happen, this also would happen in cycles. This is also evolution process. This is at the beginning it might seem so interesting, so it might be seem so joyful, but at one point of a time we see a lot of dualities. At one point of a time the unconditional things become totally conditioning. So if we understand this process, that the evolution process, the soul process, the awakening process would also be I would not say easy or simpler, but yes, we can understand and take the things forward, one by one, step by step. So other thing here I have here is the UFO. Like it is about understanding the muscular and feminine energies and how to build up the relationships between them. And this is about our guardian angels, our angels that we interact with, or we get connected with our super consciousness or some kind of angels. So this is a story about our guardian angels and understanding the moon cycles, understanding the nature, and how this kind of energy would reflect the feminine energy, like when to have the fullest or when to release the things. So these are all different programs that I have designed, such that we can understand how this feminine energy or the feminine evolution can reflect in different aspects of our life. As I said, it could be one or multiple, or as an individual, or within the family, or as I say, it could also be the evolution process, the complete universe, the creation at a larger or at a macro picture. So this is how we can understand the things about the feminine energy. Like beginning, we said initiation, it is like a sati, like we get the information. Like later, when we try to manifest the things, like it will be a shakti. And sometimes we go multi-dimensional, like not just in one aspects. We try to manifest in many aspects. So it will be a kali. But as we go on, there'll be a lot of dualities and polarities. There'll be a lot of imbalances in us. So we need to have a balance. So once we have that balance. How to have that balance? How to have you invoke that balance? That is also important. And later, we also go through uh, this surrender process and the creative process. This creative process is invoking Goddess Saraswati. Complete surrender is very important. So this is how it goes. So when to use and how to use and how much exactly to invoke and adopt these things are very important. So hope this kind of because we have a limited or a 1 hour time. I think I am able to share the best in the short time that we have. So let us go for a relaxed, calm meditation for some time to understand and experience this kind of feminine energies, the cycles, the goddess cycles, and how that is connected for the women as a life on this earth. So let us practice meditation for some time. Dear friends, masters, please close your eyes and we will go through and practice a short meditation session. Lakshmi, can you please play the music?
Yes, please do guide for 2 minutes. I'll be playing. Yeah.
Please close your eyes. This is a simple, easy, and effective technique. Just follow your breath. Inhale and exhale. The masters, friends, feminine energy and goddess meditation. This is a meditation of Om Chakra, meditation of breath and awareness. Observe and follow the breath in to the womb and out. Inhale, exhale. Allow each breath breathe in and out. Dear friends, please visualize your belly and allow yourself to become aware of your body. Aware of the way belly rises and each breath aware of physical sensation that is happening in your womb. That you are experiencing at this moment. Inhale, breathe in into the womb and out through the womb. Allow your muscles, your emotions, and energy completely relax. You can, you goddess. completely relaxed in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, and your energy. Breathe in through the nose and out through your own. Inhale and exhale. Gentle breath. Each inhale begins with each exhale. When we become aware of our breath into our belly button, that is Om Chakra, we become aware of entering into a space of non-duality. Om Chakra makes you to experience and enter a state of oneness. Breathe in to your home and out through the inhale and exhale. You enter a space of non-duality, and we are within time and simultaneously outside the time. Inhale breathe in aware of our feminine qualities and feminine energy, and also become aware of masculine energies. We are aware of the balance between feminine and masculine energies within and outside, both internal and external environment. We are both young and old, and neither young or old. Be aware of the polarities of the duality that we go through. Just breathe in, inhale and exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. In to the Om. Just out. Inhale and exhale. Be aware of the space that we become part of all that is, and be unique and an individual to ourselves. We are both individuals and all that is simultaneously. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in to the Om, the belly button, and just out. Breathe out Breathing in to the womb and out to the womb. In this phase, we enter and be aware of non-judgment. Just allow everything to flow through you, to your own chakra. Be aware of it. Just follow your breath. Inhale and exhale.
Yes, friends, last 2 minutes.
Just follow your breath. Relax. Inhale and exhale. Study even gentle breaths. Breathe in through your womb and out without. Feel the energy. Feel the release. Completely relax. Ten, nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one, zero. Slowly come out of your meditation. Relax yourself. Release your hands, legs. Put your hands on your thighs and slowly open your eyes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pramila, for this wonderful session. And your talk was so beautiful, and you shared so many topics. And really, and we have received a couple of questions from the participants, Pramila. And one person asked, "Ma'am, can you tell some info for personal evolution and feminine energy balance?"
Definitely, Lakshmi. As we were discussing earlier in our session, we go through a lot of dualities, lot of friction. So when we experience these kind of a things, first we need to understand, yes, this is part of the feminine process. There is something, this is not something strange, or this is not something that should have not happened to us. That kind of understanding is the prime thing, that yes, this duality would be there, these imbalances would be there. This is a part of the nature, this is part of the evolution, this is part of our evolution. Thus, that kind of understanding itself would make this kind of uh, energy soothing, balanced. This is the first thing. And when we experience these things, immediately, instead of taking the things forward, like wait for a while, pause for a while, and understand, okay, why are we experiencing these things? It's not always our thought process. It's not always our work to be done. There are many other works that are to be done. Could be at your family, if there is a wife, there will be husband. Like we have other members as well. So they have their own perception. So try to understand and try to share yours. So sharing the best things, yours and from others. When we share these things, definitely we will understand the other's perspective. When we understand the other's perspective, that is how some more balance that we can attain in our energy. So this happens in a phases, this happens in cycles. So this is how it goes. So when we understand the other perception, and we explain our perception to them, there is kind of a some kind of harmony that will be created. The energy phases changes.
True. What you said is true, Pramila. And you mentioned about the duality in spirituality. It is also one of the beautiful point. And
Right, right.
thank you so much. You shared a lot of points and a lot of topics and very different perspective about this evolution of divine feminine and masculine. And yes, thank you so much. And so many of
Thank
the
you.
yeah,
Yes,
so many people express their
tell me.
gratitude to you in the comments. And yes, thank you all. Thank you so much. And thank you, Pramila, once again. Yes.
Thank you for you all as well, to taking up this wonderful program and this wonderful sharing and wisdom. And thank you for giving me such a great opportunity wherein I can share and receive from you all. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much for joining today's session. And let's meet tomorrow. Let's connect tomorrow with one more master. Bye, all. Thank you.